On question number 10,
Powering off.
we are told that angles ABCD, or ABC and CBD, form a linear pair. So that means I'm going to get a line here. Now, what's on my line? Notice a linear pair means they're next to, so what's the same in both my angles? Well, I notice I've got BC in both of my angles. So what I think I'll do is I'll put B as my vertex here. Here's C. Then I'll have A and then D over there. And then what makes them a line? A, B, D, and that's where your correct answer is B. If we take a look at question 11, I want to find the value of Y. If S is the midpoint of RT, T is the midpoint of RU, and I've got those expressions. So let's draw this picture out here. And we're told S is the midpoint of R to T. So here's R, here's T, and then I've got S right here. And that's the midpoint. I'll mark that as the midpoint. And then T is the midpoint of RU. So I'm going to put U right over here, have them be about the same. So I know R to T and T to U are the same. Now let's look at what I'm given. We're told R to S is 6x plus 5. Okay? We're told S to T is 8x minus 1. And we're told T to U is 11y plus 13. And right now, I don't have enough information to solve for y. But let's look at what I can solve. I know R to S and S to T, they're the same. So what I can do is I can solve for x first. So I'm going to say 6x plus 5 equals to 8x minus 1. And let's solve for x. So I'm going to subtract 6x from both sides, because I like to move the smaller one. I'll add 1 to both sides. So I get 6 equals 2x. Divide by 2, x equals 3. Now I can use that to find R to S. So R to S is 6 times 3 plus 5. That would be 18 plus 5, which would be 23. So in other words, R to S is 23. S to T is 23. Since that means R to T is 46. Now I can use that because I know R to T, since T is the midpoint, I know R to T equals T to U. I wrote UT, but it's the same thing. So in other words, 46 equals 11y plus 13. Well then, let's subtract 13 from both sides. Run out of room here. I'll write it to the side. And we'll say 33 equals 11y divided by 11. Y equals 3. And there's your answer for that one. That one probably what should circle your answer. You should circle your answer in all of them, but there's a lot of work on that one. So we definitely want to make it easy for me to correct your paper, show your work. Circle your answer. Now, on question 12, what makes an angle obtuse? An angle is obtuse if it's greater than 90 degrees. In other words, the measure of angle A has to be greater than 90. Or, we're going to say 12x minus 6 has to be greater than 90. So we add 6 to both sides, and 12x is greater than 96. Divide by 12, and x is greater than 8. Well, that's true, but the answer says 8, or x is between 8 and 15.5. That's because there's a maximum for an obtuse angle also. Remember, for an obtuse angle, it has to be less than 180. So I'm going to say the measure of angle A has to be less than 180. So I'm going to say 12x minus 6 has to be less than 180. I'll add 6 to both sides, just like I did before. Only I'm just using 180 now, aren't I? So 12x is less than 186. I'll divide both sides by 12. And x is less than, now if I look at that, both of these are even, aren't they? So I could divide, let me see, 8, 6. I wonder if a 4 goes into both of them. Because I know 12 divided by 4 is 3. 4 goes into 18 4 times. With 2 left, no, 4 doesn't go into it. So let's try that again. Let's divide it by 2 then. And so put over 6. And then 2 would be 93, wouldn't it? Oh, I could have divided by 6, couldn't I have? So I divide by 3 again. X is 21. 6 divided by 3. How about 31? Sorry about that. 9 divided by 3 is 3. So 31 divided by 2. And that's why the answer says 15.5. But I would like you to write it between those two. So we'll say 8 is less than x, which is less than 31 over 2. You could write it backwards. 31 over 2 is greater than x, which is greater than 8. That would be correct also.